I'm Jamie, Fort Vancouver Library's Experiential Learning Librarian.
Today's project is digital pixel art. For today's project, you will need access to a computer and the internet. We will be using the website pixelapp.com. If you don't have access to a computer or the internet right now, that's fine. I have a video that shows you how you can make pixel art using paper and pencil. For the second part of the pixel art project, we're going to be using a website, pixelapp.com. Piskelapp.com. You may consider signing up for a free account if you enjoy Piskel. For now, we're going to go to Create Sprite. There are several handy tools along the right-hand side of the screen. Preferences, Resize, Save, Export, and Import. We're going to use the Resize tool, which is on the right-hand side of the screen. When you click on Resize, you get the option to change the width and the height of the graph. We're going to make our graph the same size as our analog picture, which was 16 by 16. Our canvas may not look very different, but now it is 16 blocks wide by 16 blocks long. Piskel has a lot of great drawing tools on the left-hand side of the screen. We'll be using several of these today. For today's example, I'm going to recreate the heart I made using paper and pencil in an earlier project. I'm going to stick to the same color palette to keep it simple. Piskel allows you to create custom palettes. On the right-hand side, click the plus sign under Palettes. This opens up the color picker window. I'm going to rename this palette Heart Colors. If you do lots of art in Piskel, it's great to be able to build your custom palettes for projects. I'm going to keep the default black, and then I'm going to click the plus sign next to the black square to add a new square. This is going to be my base red. I'm going to add another color, and then I'm going to just slowly customize the pinks until I get a nice variety of pink shades. Now I have my 5 colors. I'm going to rearrange the pinks so it goes from darkest to lightest, and then I'm going to save this new palette. When I return to the regular canvas, you can see my new palette on the right-hand side of the screen. If I click on the color, they get a little yellow triangle in the bottom left-hand corner, and that's how I know which color is selected. I'm going to use the same trick I used with my paper pixel art to make sure I'm centered on my canvas. So I'm going to count over, and I'm just counting to make sure it is 16 squares across by 16 squares down. So I know the center of my canvas is going to be 8 squares across and 8 squares down. And I'm just going to use the lightest shade of pink to mark the center piece. I'm going to switch to black, and then from the center mark, I'm going to go to the bottom, and this is where I'm going to start my heart. I decided this time that I would start from the bottom of the heart and work my way up. When I did the paper art, I actually started at the top and worked my way around, but it's fun to try new things, and I decided I kind of liked this method better. Right now I'm just using the pen tool and the color black to make my outline for my heart. I've decided in the center that I like 4 squares instead of 1, which on my paper art I did just the 1 in the center. I think this is going to turn out to be a better rounded heart. So I'm going to continue around the other side, just duplicating what I did on the opposite side and finish off the black outline. I finished the black outline on my heart, and now I'm going to fill it in, and I want to do a multicolored heart, so I'm going to start with the dark red, and then I'm just going to go around, still using the pen tool, and just color each square just inside of the black square so that I'm moving towards the center of my heart. You can click and drag your colors, but sometimes you may make mistakes like I do. There's a couple of ways you can undo this. You can use the eraser tool on the left-hand side, delete out the wrong color, and then select the correct color and make sure to change away from the eraser back to the pen tool to fill the right colors back in. You can also do Control-Z from the keyboard. That also works. Now I'm just going to continue with the pen tool, filling in the red and the next level of pink. I know notice when I start on my third layer of pink that the pink I chose is too close to the color above it, so you can't really see the difference. So I'm going to go back into the color picker and change up my palette a little bit and choose a lighter pink color, just so there's more contrast between the layers. The center of my heart is going to be the lightest pink color, and I can use the pen tool to fill this in like I have been doing, or I can use the paint bucket tool and just fill the whole center, and this will just do all of the pixels right next to each other and fills it in pretty nicely for me. Another handy coloring tool for this project is the vertical mirror pen. So if I click a pixel on one side of my image, it fills out the mirror image on the other side. So this is really great for symmetrical pieces like the heart shape, where it'll just fill it in at the same time for you. We've created our pixel image and we can be excited about that and be done, or we can use one of Piskel's really cool features where we can add another frame. So if you click on the left-hand side on the plus for the frame, it'll add another blank frame for you, and then on the right-hand side you can kind of see the animation. So a great thing about Piskel is using it to create animated pixel art or sprites, especially if you're doing video games and you want to show movement in a character. It allows you to do that pretty easily. A great way to do this is actually just copying the finished product you have. So now I've got a duplicate of my heart, and now I'm just going to start recoloring this so that I get the effect that my heart is kind of beating. To get the beating effect, I'm going to maintain the same palette I've already created, and I'm just going to cycle through my colors. So where the lightest pink is now, I'm going to make that black, and I'm going to use the tool underneath the vertical pen tool called Paint All Pixels of the Same Color. And it's kind of like the paint bucket, but it does the quick thing of just dropping that same color in there. So, and you can see in the upper right, even just by changing my light pink and the black, when it cycles through the two frames of my image, you get kind of a beating effect. Now I'm going to go through and recolor all of the different layers, and it's much faster using the Paint All Pixels of the Same Color tool, so I don't have to go through, and I don't even have to do the vertical. I'm going to run into a problem here when I try to change my outside black layer red. Because I'm still using the Paint All Pixels of the Same Color, my outline's black, but so is my center. And so when I use the Paint All Pixels, it turns everything that's black into red, which isn't quite what I want. So for this last layer, I'm going to go through and use the vertical pen tool. The animation in the right looks pretty good, but I've decided that I want to cycle through all 5 colors, so my goal is going to make 5 frames of this heart. So I went ahead and duplicated the frame that I just finished, so now I have 3 frames, and now I'm just going to go through and recolor. So my center is black and it's going to be red this time, and then I'll move all my colors up 1 layer. I've finished all 5 frames and it cycles through all of the colors. So the black starts on the outside, works its way in and works its way back out. It looks amazing. And if you click on your little preview on the right hand side, you can actually get a pop-out window, and so you can look at your animation a lot bigger, and it looks awesome. This made me start to think though that if I now duplicated the 5 frames I have and put them in reverse order, I could make it kind of pulse in and out. So that's what I'm going to do now. Adding more frames makes a more complex image. Now I have this really cool kind of breathing effect, which I think is awesome. You've put a lot of work into your pixel art, so you're going to make sure to save it. If you sign up for a Piskel account, it's really cool because it cloud saves everything, so you can save it directly onto this website, and then if you log in later from the same computer or from a different computer, all of your work is still there and you're able to continue working on it. You can also download your images as pixels, or you can export them as JPEGs and GIFs. Whatever you decide to do, make sure you save it. Have fun and keep making. We hope to see you at the library soon. Until then, the library's website has a lot of great resources. www.fvrl.org. See you next time.